Hey everybody, welcome to HIT.OR.DIE Live with this guy and that guy.
Hopefully it's working this time.
Hopefully it's working today. We'll get a text from
Shout out Andrina.
Yeah, Andrina, our number one fan. We'll say that. She's always right there on top of the episodes. Thanks again, everybody, for Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube challenge is it's still on, but you know, it's kind of sticking around the low 400s.
Hey, we keep grinding, right? Keep going at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way to keep it going, you know, is to keep it going.
Be sure to follow on Twitter at HIT.OR.DIE Podcast, Instagram at HIT.OR.DIE, also Facebook, and like Chad said, YouTube. Hey, man, before we get into some news outside of baseball.
Yeah.
You want to do that first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm texting the wife. She's asking if the fire alarms stopped after she called the fire department out to my house while I was at work because the fire alarms were going off, not thinking just to change the batteries. So I got home, we changed the batteries, boom.
Job well done.
I didn't even have to YouTube it.
Hey, we both had a couple anniversaries. Happy anniversary to you and Nikki.
Yeah. 12. Sorry. Hey, at least she got the day wrong. So
she did get the day wrong. Yeah, man.
And you?
Yeah.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, 14
big ones.
Poetic. It's work. It's work. It's work.
It is work.
But 14 years, man. I'm proud of it. It's been fun. And some other things.
No, we love our wives.
Absolutely. Now, before we get too deep into it, I wanted to shout out some cities, man. I try to check the downloads and listens and all that stuff as often as I can. And, the last month was awesome. And I just wanted to shout out the top 10 from time to time we do this. Top 10 in California, cities that listen or download the podcast. And number 10 were Elk Grove, Long Beach, and Oaktown. Number 9 was Los Angeles. Number 8, San Jose. Number 7, Stockton. Porterville at 6. Madera at 5. A little disappointed. Not going to lie. Number 4, Kingsburg. And number 3, dropping out of the 2 spot, was Clovis. So we're doing something wrong in Clovis.
No, we're not.
Sacramento was number 2 most downloaded, next to Fresno, and it was neck and neck.
Yeah.
So thank you to the folks in Sacramento.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. I know we don't cover a lot of local sports that go on in that area, but
but the Sacramento River Cats are still playing against the Dodgers. Game 5 tomorrow.
What's funny is, again, people hitting up me on your comments about the Giants.
Hey, I picked the Giants to win. So
I know,
which is another thing. Let's get into. Everybody I picked loses.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna start with. Was your bracket is Shigon?
Yeah. Bombs over Baghdad.
It's over. Your Brewers fell to the Braves.
My Brewers. Yeah.
Your pick of the Brewers fell. I want to shout out the top 10 cities in the last month. And again, for some reason, I don't know why Texas, but thank you. Again, Frisco, Dallas, San Antonio. I don't know why or how it gets there among other places, but we want to say thank you. It's pretty awesome when you see that stuff. So
yeah.
But getting into some news not regarding baseball, I mean, the big story is that John Gruden has resigned as the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. And I was shocked to see that. What was your first thought seeing that?
I was shocked as well. I don't feel like he should lose his job for things he said privately to a friend. And I'm not saying what he said and what they found out about what he said is right in any way. It is despicable. He shouldn't have said any of those things. I'm not condoning that is, good behavior or whatever. But for something that is supposed to be private between you and somebody else that gets seen
and
under
it
an
wasn't
investigation.
Right. And it wasn't leaked by that person either.
No, it was leaked by somebody doing an investigation that saw it, wanted a story, make money, whatever, brought the emails to light, which all the emails were when he was with ESPN. None of the emails ever happened again when he was hired as an NFL coach with the Raiders. So while he was with the NFL, no emails were sent, nothing. When he wasn't, when he wasn't working for the NFL, he's working for ESPN. That's when all that stuff occurred. Not justifying that's right, but you brought up a good point. You do something at this job that you have that's not right. And then you go to another job and they fire you just because of what you did at the other job when it has nothing to do. Like you didn't do anything wrong at this job, but because you did something wrong here.
I think first and foremost, we need to be clear. Like what he said is shitty. It's awful stuff. Awful. Like it's despicable. You don't like, I don't condone that kind of conversation or it's just not whatever but if I were to move on from the job I'm at now and go to another job, to be fired from something that happened or that was found out from my personal email account at a new job where there was no issues, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And let's be clear too. This has happened to professional athletes. This just happened to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he's still playing basketball.
Yeah. He made some homophobic comments on Twitter, or they were personal too, I guess. They were in a DM.
It was a private DM. Yeah.
And he made it towards an actor that's homosexual. But he made some comments towards him.
He's not.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Oh, I didn't know.
Rappaport is not.
Okay. No. I didn't know that. I don't even know who that is. What's he in?
He's in a lot of stuff. The one I remember, it was brief too, was Hitch. He's the buddy in Hitch.
Oh yeah, no, the brother-in-law.
No, he's not the brother-in-law.
He's just his friend. No, he's the brother-in-law at the bar.
Are they?
He's married to Hitch's sister.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Something like
I think.
But he's done other stuff. He was with Barstool. He had a big falling out with Portnoy at Barstool. It was, it's been. Yeah, he's out. Does a lot of fantasy stuff.
So Durant said some stuff to him that they came to light, and he was fined $50,000, and he's still playing the NBA. And it was while he was in the NBA, and it was said, and nothing happened to him. We've had professional athletes, be on trial for murder, beat their wives, beat their significant others, and they're still playing in their professional sport. I just feel like, and I'm not justifying what Gruden said, but to lose his job as what I think is one of the best coaches of football, or the best knowledgeable football coach. And I've always, what I've seen, even watching Hard Knocks, I feel like the players love playing for him, a guy like him.
Yeah, nobody's come out and spoke on it. I don't think they will.
I think they're scared to.
Maybe. I don't know. I heard Keyshawn Johnson's comments of it about he's just a salesman, and he played for him in Tampa, and those are his opinions of him. He was obviously much closer to.
Did he say thank you for the ring in Tampa?
I don't know, but he also claimed that was the Tony Dungy's team, and he inherited that, which also may be true. That's his opinion of the guy, and we're on the outside looking in. So,
and Keyshawn's had his
for sure.
His run in.
Nobody, like you said, nobody's perfect. I'd like to see somebody that's never said something inappropriate or made a mistake or a comment they wish they could take back.
And even more so behind closed doors.
I also like to think people can change. I don't know. He comes off as a brash, kind of outspoken guy. I mean,
and that's not accepted in this woke
in
culture
the world we live in. Yeah. I mean, you had
now.
Also issues with Antonio Brown and some of the things he said in the past. It's just not unheard of, I guess.
Yeah.
And people didn't lose their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I don't condone the language or the email, what he said, but
No, but the article I read, who was that? Jason
Whitlock, yeah.
Had a great article on it. Actually brings some perspective to light. I mean, here's an African-American
and
writer.
It's his opinion of the situation. And I think that's all people can do. It's over. He's out. He's not the coach. It's how it's happened. The emails were not going to stop being leaked. That's for sure and that's all I've read.
Which there was supposedly 10 years worth. So,
as far as what he did as a Raiders coach during that time, I have no idea. And more will come out and be unfolded as the week and the next couple of weeks go on with the email things. Maybe it'll stop now that he's out. I don't know. But yeah, he is out as a Raiders coach. I've seen a lot of opinions and I've seen a lot of stuff on social media, and everybody's tough on social media, but a lot of stuff in favor of Gruden, which I was kind of surprised to see it. I'm just being honest. I thought he's going to get railed on this. And there was a lot of people that kind of said the same thing you said, like it's 10 years old. Like it's not the first time this situation's happened, and especially recently, and yet the different outcomes. So, but in this circumstance, he's out. I don't know what his future looks like in the game. I'd like to say maybe nothing. I don't know.
It's sad because he is good for the game of football with his knowledge, and like those QB things he had when he wasn't coaching. Those were some awesome things.
The one-on-one stuff with
So
I don't. As far as reading what I read in those emails, it's it's not good. I don't love the mindset, the thinking of some of those things, but also his right to privacy, and we're all have certain rights, and when that's violated, regardless of what you think about what he said, everybody's granted those rights. And so, like I said, the same thing happened with Durant, and that situation is handled and it's been moved on from. So it's kind of the same thing, I guess. It's like you said, he's good for football. I don't know how his players feel about it or feel about him, but I'm sure maybe some things will start to get out there in the middle of a season. So maybe not, but at some point it'll be spoke on, and we'll just have to wait and see. But I just thought that was, I was shocked to hear it and see it and hear some of the reports and read the emails. And it's a bad situation. So we'll just have to continue to see it play out. But John Gruden is out as a Raider football coach. So bringing the mood back up a little bit. Postseason baseball we've got one series already set. The ALCS is set. The Red Sox get through the wild card and then find a way to beat Tampa Bay Rays 3 straight, once at Tampa and twice at home on the road on back-to-back walk-offs. We both picked Tampa.
Yeah.
But knowing this game, I mean, are you at all surprised, or what maybe surprised you the most about what the Red Sox did?
I don't know if it was surprising, because you gotta look too. The Red Sox and the Yankees were down. We good?
Yeah.
The Red Sox and the Yankees were going down the stretch fighting for that wild card. Tampa was in. You know what I mean? Tampa was in. They could coast. They could, whatever they had to do or whatever. And I'm saying they did that. The Red Sox were playing a playoff type game every single game for pretty much the last maybe month or 2 weeks, 2 weeks to a month. They're playing a playoff type game that's a must win, type game where Cora's got to make decisions on winning this game. If we go to the bullpen early, how do we have our bullpen the next 3 days? How do we, you know what I mean? So I feel like the Red Sox playing those crucial games down the stretch prepared them. And I'm not saying more so than Cash. Cash is a great manager, and the moves he makes. But I feel like they played more big time games in playoff type games. So they were already kind of prepared for what happened, and then going in and having the Yankees come in, beat the Yankees. And then obviously it helps playing 2 East teams that you're used to, that you've played 20 plus times a game a year. So I'm not surprised one bit that the Red Sox went past the Yankees and Tampa, even though I picked the Yankees and I picked Tampa as well. It doesn't surprise me. And like we've always said, the hottest team at the end.
And just some things are going their way. You know, you look at the Yankees and the play it with the Judge out at the plate and the kick off the wall and just, I mean, that was a more, just executed play.
Mm-hmm.
But the one with, was it Renfroe?
Kiermaier.
Yeah, Kiermaier's ball off the wall that was
bounced back to Renfroe and then hit Renfroe.
Right, and it was a ground rule double. I know that game ended with a walk-off home run, 2-run home run. So regardless of whether the run scored, that home run would have made it a 6-5 victory.
But momentum. Right.
So now, again, hypothetically, but I felt like going into the bottom of the ninth with the 1-run lead.
It's a lot different.
Yeah. So I felt like, it could have played a bigger difference.
Yeah. And that needs to be, it's different when the ball bounces in and bounces out for a ground rule double. But when the ball stays in play and is hit out by a player accidentally, because now what player might just do that on purpose?
Well, and they can review that and judgment wise make a call on.
Can they review? Yeah. It is a reviewable play.
Yeah. Yeah, and they can rule.
So, but
whether he did it intentionally or not, and in that,
so they can't review whether they should give a guy a base.
Yes, but that by rule was the right call. What happened to Tampa was 100% the correct call and how it's supposed to be called. They handled it perfectly.
But why? I mean, who was on? Was it Diaz?
I don't remember.
He was already almost at third base when Renfroe was about to get the ball.
Yes. Oh, he was going to walk in backwards.
Yeah.
Had that ball not gone over.
So that's where it's like, if it's not bounced over like a traditional ground rule double, I feel like they should be able to review that and be like, look,
if it hits a player and goes over, I feel like that. I think the rule needs to be adjusted. I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see where Tampa fans are pissed and,
yeah, but the rule's the rule.
Yeah,
and it was right.
It was, but I feel like momentum would have been different. And I feel like and Greg Amsinger said it after the game because he was debating Harold Reynolds with it and basically said, in basketball, a ball off a player out of bounds goes to the other team, whether it's on purpose or on accident. You dribble it off your foot and it goes out of bounds. It's the other team's ball, which I thought was a great point. It hit Renfroe. He didn't make a great play on it and it deflected off him over the fence. And I felt like, why should the Rays be punished for that? Knowing that run's scoring. Everybody, there's not one person that would argue he might not have. No, he's scoring.
No, there's a whole city of Boston that will argue.
No. Well, those are just homers that want what they want. That's not what happened. What would have happened was he would have scored.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Kiermaier might have got a triple.
He was on third base. Yeah. It would have been a triple.
Yeah.
So
now he's 90 feet away, even though there's 2 outs.
But walks, that bottom of the ninth started with a leadoff walk.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. Baseball is baseball, and the baseball gods will all happen fairly.
It kind of feels like Boston's that team of, I don't want to say destiny, but
didn't somebody say, I was reading something that the logos, there's always a flag in the logos. There's a flag in the World Series logo and the playoff logos only in the years that Boston won the World Series. Going back to 2004.
I didn't see that.
I saw some guy was showing pictures of it and he said there's now the pictures only go up to the ALCS though. The World Series one doesn't have the flags in it.
Interesting.
So are they done?
Maybe if that is if you're that superstitious.
All these conspiracy theories, it's kind of funny or even like interesting just to listen to them.
You did call Luplo having a moment.
I did call that.
It didn't turn into a win.
Which sucks. Like that's what sucks about it. Like a grand slam up 5-1. You would think it's game, set, match, but no.
At home.
Yeah.
No, I agree, Ed.
Knocking out Sale.
Yeah, and it was awesome, man. Where was I? We were somewhere and you texted me.
No, you were at a funeral.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool to see Loop. I mean, the other thing was, and we'll get into more of this, but him playing first base.
Yeah, it's such an easy position.
It's some people right now seem to think it is. It's absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And he made a play that honestly saved the game in that game that hit Renfroe to go over the ground rule double. That pick on the backhand side, I mean, that ball gets by him, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
That scores a run. So, you know, it was a huge play. I think Uriel made a play in Houston. It was a double play. He made a couple different plays, but I mean, on a shot, a bullet to his glove side after holding a runner on, that was a huge play. The first base is not an easy position.
Well, I mean, and then you have Schwarber, that's a big leaguer, played baseball his whole life, played different positions, and he botches a flip to the pitcher. Like, you don't understand how many people botch a flip, like, because they hold it too long or whatever. It's got to be nice, firm, and, you know, leading them a little bit. Like, yeah, it sounds easy, but do it in that moment with the pressure where you got to try to hit a guy on the move, or, you know what I mean? It's just, the position's not easy, you know, and hopefully we'll be able to get Luke on and ask him about it, because he didn't play one inning at first base until he got to Tampa.
No, and it was a huge play. I mean,
to learn that position, you know, I mean, your footing at the base, knowing your bag awareness, knowing you're in every play pretty much. You have somewhere to be every ball's hit somewhere. You know, your footwork's got to be, you know, perfect at times. And I thought Luplo did outstanding for, you know, learning that position right away and having to be in those moments too. You know, it's a different, like, adrenaline in those games and how big they are and how meaningful they are. And, you know, here's a guy that's never played first base before that's doing it on the biggest stage,
getting the job done. It was fun to see him move and, you know, hit that bomb. I think he hit a double in game 4, and it sucks to see him out. You know, Dylan Lee is moving to that, is still in with the Braves. I don't know how the NLCS roster will look as far as him being available or on it. But the Braves, man, got through a really talented Brewers pitching staff. Offensively, they'd struggled, and it showed in the series. I think there was a couple moments where I thought, you know, Counsell played for runs a little too early when I think Peralta was in game 3 and he was just dealing. And the Braves just had nothing for him. And in the 5th, with 2 outs, I think it was 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, he brought in
Tellez to pinch hit. Or Vogelbach.
No, it was Vogelbach.
And I just felt like in a tie, but it was 0-0 still. Like, I understand wanting to get some runs there and being on the road. I just questioned with what Peralta was doing.
How many outs? 2?
There was 2 outs, and he was the 3rd. He ended up being the 3rd out. I just felt like maybe that was too early to do that. I don't know. I'm not. It's a totally different game, man. And like everybody says, these guys know their teams.
Yeah, and you have to know the matchups, and you have to understand they've done this for 162 games.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be a move that he would probably do 9 out of 10 times. But maybe in April or May, or, you know what I mean? Like, maybe the guy's going, we're going to have another chance offensively,
and they have a good bullpen. They can pitch.
Well, they were missing some guys.
They were, absolutely, but they're still good. I mean, they still have guys that are like, I mean,
Freeman hit the home run off one of the best,
you
know, relievers, closers the game has right now. But that's just because Freeman's a freak and doesn't get enough credit for how good he is. But yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. Like, I understand that. I almost agree with Counsell. Like, you're playing a matchup. You're playing a guy that's been a really good pinch hitter for you all year.
And you struggled to score runs
like
in
you
the
said,
series.
That's why he's on the roster.
Right.
He's on the roster for that situation. So he knows before the game, I know in this situation, I have to be ready. It wasn't like, oh man, Vogel, you're pinch hitting. He knew, when that situation comes up.
And at some point, you're gonna have to go to your bullpen.
Yeah.
At some point, that's gonna happen.
And if you trust your bullpen,
and that's who the Braves scored their runs off, and they did it. I think they did it in the next inning. Yeah. They scored. So maybe that's why thinking that way. Well, they scored right after Peralta came out, and you've said this in the past. Maybe getting to the bullpen gave the Braves a little like,
yeah,
this guy's gone.
Yeah,
and
like that. What happened with Tampa last year when Snell was out? Yeah, it's just hard to. Council's been really good at what he does.
And he's been in those. I mean, he's won a couple World Series. Like, he's not new to the game.
Yeah. So it's just.
And who am I? You know what I mean? I just felt like, and I'm a Braves fan too on top. But I mean, like,
and if it works out, we're not even talking about it. If Vogelbach comes up and hits a single or a double and the run scores, then we're not even talking about it.
Paid off is right. And that's just
then the momentum shift.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's a everyday thing. Yeah. I also had in the Braves series yesterday a play that happened in foul territory. And I forget, it was a catcher kind of bobbled the ball in foul territory near the wall. And the third baseman dove, and it looks like it hits the ground to me and most people. I saw Trevor Bauer tweet on it and said it, in his opinion, it hit the tip of the glove and stayed in the glove and wasn't.
Nobody cares about what his opinion is.
Hey, he has his right.
Hey, and supposedly he'll be back playing probably. Wow. What he did.
Yeah. That's another story. But to me, it looked like it hit the ground. But even at that, I guess it's not a reviewable play anyway.
A catchable ball?
I guess in foul ground. I'm not sure how.
Well, isn't a trapped ball in the outfield reviewable?
But that's in fair play. It's in the field of play.
Even though you're in foul territory, you're still in the field of play. The ball is not dead unless it goes out of the field of play. Am I right on an overthrow?
Yeah, so somebody may need to correct us on that, because I'm under the. I saw some stuff where people were saying that it wasn't a reviewable play. I guess it was a judgment call, and I'm thinking, well, because like fan interference, whether it's in fair territory or fouls, reviewable, it's right? Reviewable. So why wouldn't this be any different? I didn't see the play live happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got sent a replay.
It's not in fair territory, but it's in play. You know what I mean? Out of play is in the stands.
Correct.
So, I mean, that's with anything. There's a reason why pitchers back up, because it's not like once it goes in foul territory, the ball's dead. You know what I mean? So I don't get that either with the non-reviewable.
Yeah, somebody might have to correct us on that. I could be completely wrong. That's just with the stuff I was reading. I should have done more work on that one, but it looked like a catch, or looked like it hit the ground to me, not a catch.
I didn't see it. I was at a doubleheader yesterday.
Yeah, you guys were playing yesterday. So yeah, but no, the Braves are moving on, so I'll take it. I don't even know. Thinking about matchups, I don't even know who. I think they're both bad matchups, whether it's the Giants or Dodgers. Seeing how they use their bullpen, and I don't know how they're going to get through a 7-game series. Hopefully I'm wrong.
The Braves?
Yeah. Hopefully I'm wrong and they, sweep. That would be beautiful. I kind of think I only lean towards the Dodgers, and I was talking to Daniel about this because they'll be home team.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Giants, they'll have to go on the road to start. Although the starting pitching, now that the Dodgers are going to Game 5 and Webb's going tonight, and I've also heard that Gausman might be the next guy up tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah, he will.
So you're looking at Alex Wood Game 1. So I think that the starting pitching would favor playing the Giants.
And you could probably bring Discalfino back, or whatever his name is. He only got through one.
Yeah, he didn't look good last night. He looked very hittable. Obviously, he was.
But do you need to get him out there again to get that confidence
absolutely
back?
I think so. Yeah, because he's
been good.
Yeah, you just throw him back out there. It was just didn't have it last night. It's no different than Scherzer the last couple. I mean, he was money.
Yeah,
in a 1-0 loss.
Mm-hmm.
So, but looking at it, but
I heard the wind stopped.
We're gonna get it there.
Win Longoria.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But I looking at the Braves, I just feel like both they're bad matchups. But
I'm going Braves now.
are you now that you're done? You're gonna move.
I'm done. I don't have
but
anybody
it's still,
unless the Giants go.
Hey,
but I had the Giants losing to the Braves anyway, or the Brewers. So, but I like the Braves. I like what they've done. They don't have their superstar Acuna. They have a quiet MVP that nobody's gonna say is the MVP, but he should be, and Riley. And they have freaking steady Eddie Freeman. That's just a fucking baseball player.
Yeah, and Peterson
Albies
was
is
big.
good.
How about that? The Dodgers,
Jock.
Dodgers pieces that they got rid of are producing elsewhere. Peterson with Atlanta and Kike in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And then they hang on to Pollock, who hasn't really done anything. So,
hey, Pollock's all right.
He is not. I'm not saying he's bad. I've never been that big on him though.
Yeah. Well, he hits lefties good. I don't know.
I don't love the matchups. I think I would take the home field though in the Dodgers. But then you look at the Dodgers pitching going forward. They're set.
Yeah.
You're going to have Scherzer ready for game 1, Buehler for game 2, however they want to do that going into Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll bring back Urias for your game. I mean, they're in a good spot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough NLCS for the Braves
and ALCS.
Yeah. The ALCS.
These two series are going to be.
I mean, let's stay there. You had the Chicago White Sox. I forget his name.
Everybody forgot his name.
Tapera or something like that. Calling out the and that's what Dusty said. I didn't even know who he was. Calling out not calling out, but
saying they think
suggesting that the Astros, and listen, who knows what's going on around Major League Baseball.
Trust me, the Astros are probably the last team that are trying to cheat.
Their 5th ALCS in a row, though, right?
They have good players.
They do.
This is the argument we have.
Well, why is that? Why is the same thing not said about the Dodgers? How many because
they didn't get caught doing something. They didn't have somebody tattletale on.
Don't say that. You're AAA Giants and the cheating Dodgers, potentially.
Hey,
I'm just kidding. That's gonna.
All I know is Evan Gattis told them to shut their mouth.
Yes, he did.
And nobody rebutted.
No,
Evan Gattis.
Those are facts. They're facts. But staying to that, like the White Sox got their ass kicked at home.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
And but the White Sox also put a whooping on the Astros in game 3. Yeah. No, in game 3.
Yeah, in 3. Yeah.
So you got whooped. It was a close game 1. You got whooped in game 2. They're cheating. And then you whooped them in game 3. So what? Are you guys cheating now? And then guess what? The Astros came back and whooped your ass in game 4. Bro, just take a loss. Like, why is there always got to be something extra? Why can't we just win or lose? Like, there's got to be an excuse. That's like everybody's full of freaking excuses, man. It's all there is. There's excuse about everything. It's fucking annoying.
The other play in that game or in that series was the Gurriel got a ball at first base to make a play at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was Grandal was running down the line and it hit him in the shoulder, got away from the catcher and run scored. He was ruled safe. And I just felt like I don't understand, going back to even with the rules, right? He wasn't at the 45-foot line. So that's where his line took him. And I guess per the rule, they're right, but that's bullshit.
No, he did that on purpose. Especially if you know the rule. I mean, then you definitely would do that. Why wouldn't you?
I just didn't like it.
Isn't that cheating?
I feel like there's another rule that needs to there's something in the language there that needs to be addressed, because if the catcher has to give a running lane or a lane for the runner to get to home, then why shouldn't a runner have to give a lane for a defensive player on a play inside in the fair territory to make a play at home?
But on the baseline.
The runner should have to give the same courtesy to a fielder.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that's why I think
throw it right into their face.
Yeah, or just chuck it right in his cheeks. Because I don't get that.
No, I agree. Should be a rule change.
Should be looked at. But the ALCS will be the Boston Red Sox at Houston. Are you staying with the Houston Astros?
Well, I didn't.
Well, you had Tampa, but I mean, I know you like the Astros. Are you picking?
I don't know, dude. The Red Sox are just hot.
Are they that team that's just destined to get there?
But per the flag,
you could use that
whatever that is.
logic.
What was it? The what's it called? The conspiracy theory, the flag conspiracy theory. I might stick with Houston.
They can hit.
Those seem to be right, and they can hit. They can rake.
I know Altuve was the best part about it was he got hit yesterday. Okay. Rodon hit him. And I'm watching the end of the game, and it's his last at bat in the ninth. It was 7-1, and he's getting booed like no tomorrow. And they're getting Sox. It's done. They looked flat. They looked defeated. And they're booing Altuve come to the plate. And he just absolutely destroys a 99-mile-an-hour fastball for a 3-run shot. And when he could have done something different, he just ran the bases. And what player today would have just done, like a guy at that profile would have just
Freeman?
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
Trout.
You're not supposed to answer this.
Trout.
You're not supposed to give me legit answers. Does Tim in the same situation? Does Tim Anderson do that?
Tim doesn't do it in the first
that's true.
pitch of the game.
He doesn't.
He pimps the shit out of
game 1 of the season. He's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at me. It's a look at me moment rather than Altuve pretty much said that was the nail in the coffin. I just mic dropped. What else do I need to do? I just went 99 middle away, 390 down left center. So that was a mic drop. What do you need to do?
Nothing.
Though they don't need to do anything because everybody's against them anyways, because of what they did that everybody else was doing, but they got caught doing it.
I think they better find the fans in Boston are going to need to find a different tactic because it obviously doesn't work. The booing and going against it doesn't. They're good players.
They're good players.
So I'm going to go Boston then. I'm going to go against you.
That's fine.
I'm going to take the hot hand.
You're probably right.
Since Tampa's out, that's who I had. We'll go. I'm going to go Boston. There. The big one on the West Coast, the Giants-Dodgers going game 5 tomorrow night. Looks like it's going to be Logan Webb again and Urias going in San Francisco. Do you have any? You just going to sit back and watch like a good old fan, or you have a?
No, I got the Giants.
You got the Giants going through. That's right.
I got the Giants. That's my only hope left.
What Webb
Sacramento
did,
City River Cats.
I think what Webb did last Friday was, can he repeat that?
Look, okay. So I was talking to a buddy at work today that was also like, did you pick the Giants to move on? And I said, yep. He's like, damn it, we're going to lose because everybody I pick loses. So, but we were talking and I was like, Urias, even though he's so good, he's easier to plan for as a hitter. He's 95, he's 92, 96, hard slider, good changeup. Boom. I know his 3 pitches. I know how they move, whatever. Logan Webb has a lot of movement on his fastball, throws sinker, 2-seam. He's got a bunch of movement. If it's not on, it moves differently. Urias, all the pitches are the same. They move the same. There's no difference in movement. But Logan Webb has so much movement on his pitches that's harder to plan for because you don't know how much movement he's going to have, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
As a hitter.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, Urias is really freaking good. And can Logan Webb repeat?
And after the Giants, bullpen effort last night,
he needs to.
I will say this. I felt like the Dodgers, I think it was the second or third bases loaded, one out. They only got one. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking the Giants, like if I'm a Giants fan, I am ecstatic they got out of this with just one run. It was 2-0. But the Giants had opportunities to score runs last night, and You give credit to the Dodgers bullpen, which is got a, and I was talking to Coxie about this. Shout out.
Got 6 closers.
No, and Jeff made a great point of all the playoff innings that the Dodgers have. That they've got a bunch versus what the Giants have in playoff innings. It's a lot of experience, a lot of success, and that plays a role. We'll see. They're both going to be, day off today. Should be all ready to go. All hands on deck. It's win or go home. I'm going to stay with the Dodgers. That was my pick to get through. And with seeing Bellinger come to life a little bit, and you're seeing some of the balls hit, Taylor's been hitting some balls hard. Gavin Lux worked a couple walks. He hit a ball hard in game 3, which we'll get into. Mookie
got caught in a rundown though in the first and third.
Yes. Rundown. Yeah. You got to see that ball past the pitcher. That was not a go on contact with no outs. Mookie's hitting the ball. It just, guys, it looks like the Dodgers are locked in a little bit, and they're really good. They can score in bunches. I was talking to another buddy yesterday. They were kind of like, how's Buehler going to be on short days rest? And I'm like, if he gets you 4, that's huge. To get you 4 shutout, enormous, because the bullpen's ready to go.
Yeah.
My thought with going into last night's game for the Dodgers was just score as many damn runs as you can. Just score. If Buehler gets you 4, your focus is how many. We just have to score runs. That's it. Just worry, because the bullpen's going to win you the game if you score enough runs. Obviously that's how it goes. But I know it sounds simple and stupid, but I was just trying to tell. Don't focus on the pitching side of it. You got shut out the other night.
Yeah.
You can't. How many times have the Dodgers? I can probably count on one hand how many times the Dodgers have been shut out at home this season.
Yeah, probably.
So your focus needs to, how do we score runs? You can't be, can't get shut out again. Obviously it's over. So I think the same thing applies. But I'm rolling with the Dodgers still. So take Dodgers Braves going forward, but we'll see tomorrow night. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be nuts. The atmosphere is going to be awesome. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited, but getting into what you said about Gavin Lux or hitting that ball to center field. One, the defense in that series with the Giants Stars has been fantastic. I don't think Brandon Crawford can ever jump that high again.
No, he got up
to rob a base hit. But Lux smashed that ball.
He did.
And I know I've seen all the StatCasts, and I saw an article yesterday, and I wanted to get into it, but we couldn't go yesterday, was the StatCast numbers. And the article was that it should have been a home run.
But it shouldn't have.
That's just what the title was. And again, it's obviously for clicks, but the StatCast numbers capture just how the win saved the Giants, which may be true. The ball was hit 106.9 miles an hour with a 22-degree launch angle and calculated to have an 890 expected, in quotations, expected batting average. Basically, that ball's hit an extra base hit or a hit 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. So what Jeff Passan said is exactly what you said. But batters this season on balls hit 106 and 107 miles per hour and at 22-degree launch angle were 55 for 62. That's 89%, or an 887 batting average with 38 home runs. So if only 38 of the 55 are home runs, who's to say that should be a home run? Of all the balls hit at that exact speed and launch angle, 55 of 62 were hits, and 38 of those were home runs. So who's to say it should have been a home run? And there's wind factor. There's balls that are hit 89 miles per hour at 35-degree launch angle that get out that probably should be pop flies because the wind's blowing out that day.
Right.
So when people are like, that ball should have been hit out. Yeah, maybe it should have, but guess what? It didn't. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? He hit the ball hard. Yeah, you're damn right. He hit the ball hard. Should have been a home run. It wasn't a home run.
It was that one.
You play outside.
It's that 9 out of 10, and it was the one that didn't go.
And it's going to happen.
It happens all the time.
Hey, Longoria didn't have a problem getting it out the yard.
True.
But
the ball Mookie hit that Crawford caught was 100 miles an hour off the bat.
That's what I'm saying is like, dude, baseball's baseball, exit velos or whatever, the percentages or whatever. It does not freaking matter. The baseball gods will want what the baseball gods want. It's not that ball should have been. What are you blaming it on? You're blaming it on the wind. You're really making up a what? What are you making up? A fucking excuse. You're making up an excuse that you lost 1-0. Or that ball, 106 to 20, that should be a home run. Well, only 38 of the 55 are home runs at that exact. Now, should have been a hit, maybe.
It was exactly what it was. An out.
An out. How many line drives are hit that are outs? They're like, man, that should have been a hit. I freaking hit it right at the guy.
I want to transition that into Driveline posted some stuff on Twitter, and they had the GIF of
Gavin Lux. Yeah, Gavin. Staring like, what? Can't believe that just happened.
And did you have those pictures still?
Yeah.
Because I felt like, one, I don't buy into their stuff as it is. Not all of it. And you're seeing people, organizations move on from some of that thought process as far as hitting goes. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The first one was a GIF of Lux looking like, I can't believe that didn't go out. When you find out non-competitive BP doesn't transfer. The second one was same GIF. When you spend all offseason doing front toss and tee work, then can't hit a fastball, which makes no sense whatsoever because he absolutely crushed the fastball. So that didn't really make sense.
Well, those guys,
even the first one, when you find out non-competitive BP doesn't transfer, that makes sense either. The good dude hit the ball as hard as you can. Like what? That doesn't even make sense what these messages are.
It should be, again, exactly what that was. When you absolutely crush a ball and the wind holds it up and it's an out.
Yeah.
That's what the
GIF should be.
That's what their tweet should be.
And then the last one, when your backside ground balls don't turn into home runs. That backside ground balls, huh? I don't know.
Would you consider Driveline part of the guru?
The Driveline should be more for pitching.
What's competitive BP? What was that? What did it say again?
Yeah, competitive BP. Oh no, when you take uncompetitive.
When you find out non-competitive BP doesn't transfer.
So just regular BP.
I don't know a program that just goes out there and swings just for shits and giggles. I don't know one, not even in high school, one program that's not working on something during batting practice.
Yeah.
So what does that even mean? That's competitive. That's all competitive. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
And I better not go find videos of people working out at Driveline facilities doing front toss. Because if you're doing front toss at Driveline
or backside ground balls.
Yeah. So there better not be any video out there of Driveline doing any type of front toss, any tee work. Because it doesn't translate. You can't hit a fastball if you work off the tee or front toss. Okay. So Driveline better not have any of that anywhere out and about. And if you have the video, let's blow it up. Have these tweets been deleted, by the way? Did you see it?
Yeah, because she gone. Jeff Fry was blocked by them because he called him out, of course. I mean, and Michael Cameron jumped on that thing.
Why shouldn't they be called out? That's stupid.
It's stupid. And they blocked them. And then when I was looking at Jeff's retweets, it said the tweet wasn't available anymore. So I think they took it down. Because I don't know if they think they were trying to mean something else or they weren't trying to bring Gavin Lux into it. It was just that. It was just
I don't even care about the picture of Gavin Lux.
You could do a facial expression different. You could do just a random GIF facial expression, and it still doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. The picture of Gavin Lux literally doesn't even matter. It's what they're saying is the problem.
When you find out non-competitive BP doesn't transfer, well, no shit. I would agree with that. If you're just going through the motions and not competing, whether it be anything. The T.
My point is who's doing that?
Yeah.
Name me are you guys taking non-competitive BP at Fresno City?
No. I mean, yeah, no, we're not.
Who's doing that?
I don't know.
For them to even say that. What programs are not taking competitive batting practice? Who's not working on something during BP?
But they also could mean like instead of regular BP, why aren't you doing the fastball machine, curveball machine, or like that kind of stuff? I don't know what they mean because they're not saying, I can only go off what it sounds like, and it's just like makes no sense.
Well, they left the door open to get roasted.
And they got roasted.
Again, there better not be any tee work videos.
When you spend all off season doing front toss and tee work. The best hitter that ever played this game only hit off the tee pretty much.
Look at the boomstick.
Barry Bonds is what I was talking about. Not Griffey, even though that's my dude. Bonds only. He loved the tee work. Loved it. But he would not be accepted at Driveline.
Apparently not. A lot of people wouldn't be.
Or because he does tee work, he wouldn't be able to hit a fastball.
Yeah.
He hit 700 million of those motherfuckers.
But see, it just sounds stupid.
It sounds stupid.
I'm glad we screenshotted them and didn't.
They're nerds that do the analytics and metrics.
But is that so? This is everywhere. I don't know if it's dying slowly or not, but it's even in our area where nonsense is getting to kids.
Yes.
Like kids are not being good hitters.
No.
Again, the video the other day about comparing your 10-year-olds or getting your 10-year-olds to hit like somebody they can't and probably never will be.
Never will be.
We're doing a disservice to those kids.
100%.
And a lot of money's being made for certain people.
I guess.
I saw another tweet.
I guess somebody's making over $100,000 here.
I saw another
coaching
tweet.
A bunch of shizzle dicks.
I saw another tweet about somebody saying like, hey, it's that season, fall, it's money grab season for, certain organizations or certain things going out there. Be careful, parents. But that's all bullshit. And they're supposedly a big name.
They're the top. They're top baseball, whatever. I wouldn't send my kid there.
No. After seeing that,
I wouldn't have sent him there to begin with.
I know people use some of the products and the pitching stuff. I'm whatever. I don't even know. I'm just saying as far as hitting goes, those bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's all nonsense. But I know that a lot of stuff it's out there and it's crap. It's crap.
I get it. No, and then I had going on top of the Dodger thing. I had my buddy on Troball. He posted to explain the 102.5 mile an hour fastball that the Gratterall threw. And I was like, how do you want me to explain it? And he just said, go in depth of how hard that is to react to and what's necessary to hit that pitch. And it's like, fucking hard. I mean,
well, that location was tough too.
I mean, you have 0.4 of a second on a 90 mile an hour fastball. Like, let's add 12 more miles per hour to that. Your reaction time is absolutely now.
Now.
I mean, honestly, like he's getting ready to pitch now. He's now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that is the reaction.
Throwing a guy that has a good slider at 91.
No, no. I mean, I'm like, fastball no. I mean,
and location, like, can you even at that point? What are you reacting?
Yes, that's what. Oh my God, that's why I harp. And you could talk to any of my hitters at Fresno City. I harp on not sitting location. You cannot sit location. You cannot sit. If you are sitting location, you are probably not a good hitter. Or if you are a good hitter, you won't be a good hitter at the higher levels you go up because you can't. They throw too hard, too much movement.
But get into what? Because like in high school, I think you can narrow it down. Like you could say like even Batesville talked about like 80% off the plate. Like we can narrow down.
That's with 2 strikes. You're going to take the percentages.
Yes.
So don't get me wrong.
I'm saying there's very few high school pitchers that pitch in that you can look a specific location.
But you also, how many times are you trying to throw in the 4 zone, which is middle away? and they leave it over the plate,
A
or
lot.
they leave it, or they leave it in.
Yeah, it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not counting those either. You're counting the pitches that are missed.
That's true. No, that's true.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Because how many times does Underwood be like, when the guy hits it and it's supposed to be in the 4 zone?
I'm just saying that these kids are going to hit 82, 79, middle in. But it's not enough.
But if you're thinking away and they mistake in, and you're thinking away, and that's where you're trying to go with the ball instead of reacting to the pitch. Like if I'm thinking fastball, right? If I'm thinking fastball, this is my thinking and how I try to relay it to my hitters. If I'm thinking fastball, because a pitcher wants to get ahead.
Yes.
Don't tell any pitcher you ask, you want to go 0-1 or 1-0? 0-1 for sure. And most of the time it's a fastball. Let's be honest. They're going to try to get over with their best pitch. It's a fastball. The higher level you go up, it'll change. But right now at the high school and college level, it's pretty much a fastball trying to get after you. If I'm thinking away and he throws me 90 in, that's going to be hard to react to because I'm not looking for that. But if I'm looking for a fastball and it's in the zone, I'm going. And it's so much easier to think pitch than location.
And that's where you get the guys that are that one swing where it's like there's only one pitch you can get to.
That's why the big leaguers are so consistent, because they're not thinking that. There might be some counts they think that, like Luplo loves the hot zone. There might be this guy when he's 3-1, his hot zone is he doesn't like the fastball, or he goes fastball down and away. So I'm thinking that because I know I have the percentages and the numbers that 3-1, he's 85% fastball down and away. That's an instance.
Yeah, I wanted you to just explain as because high school is probably easier to narrow down, but as you get into college, and I think that's the right approach. For me, that's what I would be. But I'm just saying in high school, you can, that happens where that you do miss.
Yeah.
Right. You miss more.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. The higher you go up, pitchers are too good. The lower levels, the pitchers aren't good enough to spot up 3 fastballs away. You know what I mean?
But I think it's still that
away.
approach shouldn't change though.
It shouldn't change
because it's going to become that.
Exactly.
So adapt it now.
Exactly.
And so that's what's not being taught.
No, there a lot of people are teaching location but now I'm down 0-1. He just threw me a fastball middle in that I should absolutely, that was my pitch.
Well, that's what I was talking to some of your, I was talking to a couple of your players that played for Madera, and he was just like, he was striking. I'm like, you're striking out, right? And I was like, well, how are you getting to 2 strikes? Are you getting to 2 strikes looking? I mean, at some point you got to understand what the pitcher's trying to do, right?
Yeah.
He's not trying to go 1-0.
No.
And if he goes 1-0, he's not trying to go 2-0, right?
No.
So get in there and be ready to go.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to 2 strikes, there's nothing I can tell you. Pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We shouldn't be looking to 2 strikes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but there's just no time to think that at the big league.
No, no.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. I've never seen it. So I've never,
Unfortunately, I have.
I've only seen like 94, 95. And that was a couple times.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I have time to think away. Nah. Oh.
The other thing in watching him throw that is it looks so effortless.
It hurts me.
He's
not even using his legs. I'm like, dude, that fool could throw like 120.
It looks so easy.
Yeah.
And even Kelly too. These guys make it look so easy. You don't like him?
2 guys I would love to face. Not now, in my prime.
Okay, who?
Joe Kelly and Bauer, bro.
Because you don't like him?
Don't like him. I would, in my prime, I'd handle that shit, by the way. You guys are probably like, oh, they're dilly. In my prime, I would handle that shit. And I would fucking wink at him or do the little kissy face back to Joe Kelly. And Bauer, I'd fucking do his walk.
You do the Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Threat.
Those are 2 guys that I would love to face.
Yeah, I don't think, again, at that point and for a lot of these guys, it's just react, I guess, that you're reacting to.
But that's why I harp on consistency. And I've been videotaping I try to get the swings from the side view that you can see the whole body and swing. I try to get those and I videotape those, and I've been sending them to my hitter group, at Fresno City, and we talk about the swings and the body. And because a lot of my guys, like, they're just so used to the launch angle and all that stuff, and even off a tee and stuff, they're trying to yank balls. And I use those videos of Chris Taylor. Like, you watch that video from the side, you're probably thinking he hit a line drive over the shortstop's head and he put it 10 rows deep in left field. But you watch it, there's no dip in the shoulders. He's level. He's trying to hit a ball hard, not a home run, and he put a ball deep. Buster Posey, the ball away, put it Oppo Taco into the bay.
Yeah.
And you look at it, and
the wind was blowing out.
I'm just saying,
left field.
You guys, all these gurus are saying you need to hit like this guy. You need to hit like this guy. Guess what? Go watch slow motion video of their swing. And yeah, try to do that. Try to do that. Try to do that, because you guys see the fast motion and this, and he's hitting home runs, and you think you got to lift and hit home runs. Jock Peterson's 97 up here. He was flat as shit and hit that thing out. Schwarber's 97 up here
and short. Stanton. That's how short Stanton's swing was.
Chris Bryant's the one that has a lot of kind of dip in his swing. But a lot of these guys, you guys aren't watching the right shit. They are not dropping their back shoulder and trying to hit fly balls. They are grown ass men that are stronger than shit, that have perfected their swing, and they hit the ball hard and they put it right. It's going to go far. They're not 10-year-old little freaking skinny, no muscle kids that are trying to hit home runs that shouldn't be.
No, they should be trying to hit 400.
They should be trying to hit ground balls, because nobody's going to field a ground ball at 10, except for, the coach's kid.
Yeah, put the ball in play.
I mean, that's just what, if your swing's not consistent and doing the same thing every time, then you're not going to play this game for a long time.
And some of the stats are misleading. And like, I get some people will discuss like how batting average isn't that big a deal. And I'm thinking, I think so. I think batting average is huge. Most good batting average have good OBPs. And, just because a guy's got a lot of home runs doesn't mean he's on base enough. Like, get on base. If you get on base, you're going to play.
Well, you have a chance to what if you're on base?
Score.
What wins games?
Runs.
So the conversation's over.
But if you hit a lot of home runs,
but you're striking out 170 times.
So would you rather?
I would take less home runs and more on base, because you're probably going to score more runs.
And that's why, like, Trey Turner is hard for me not to keep in the convo, because he said hit 320 something with
25 homers,
25 bombs. He did both. 25. That's a lot of home runs.
That is a lot of home runs. And that's a guy, if he was doing the home run thing, trying to hit home runs like everybody, he'd probably hit 35 and bat 250. Like the guys are. You don't think Trey Turner can go hit 35 homers a year? I guarantee you he could.
But he can run too.
But he can run.
He's trying to get on base.
Jogging around the bases don't get to show off his talent. He's not going to slip and slide through home on a home run trot.
I just thought that the Driveline stuff and seeing what I see out there everywhere. And like Casey said, it's everywhere. It's not just in Fresno, Clovis, it's in Sacramento, it's in LA, it's in
Tennessee.
It's everywhere.
Right? That's where McGee was, right?
I mean, these are professional. These are big leaguers saying this stuff. And we're arguing against people that
did it,
that weren't big leaguers.
That are one of 28,000 to ever play the game at that level. Out of the billions of people that have walked this earth, only 28,000.
I thought you were going to do The Rock and billions.
I can't do that.
Did we just age? Did we just age ourselves a little bit?
No, they all know who The Rock is because he's an actor.
The Rock back in the day, though.
Can you smash?
I love what you said about the approach right there too, and the location part of that. I think that was awesome, and I think that starts. You do that at 10.
Hey, you do that at 10, bro. Come talk to me when you're in high school. You're gonna be raking with power. That's the thing. People don't understand. You will add power to your swing by just taking that approach. It's simple. I see a fastball, I hit fast. See fastball, hit fastball. You know, that's what it is. I see it, I hit it. I don't care where it's at. I know my swing. If it's middle away, I'm freaking putting in the left center. If it's down the middle, I'm going up the middle. If it's in, I'm freaking right center. Why aren't we thinking that way rather than I'm going to be 0-1 because I want this pitch? Why are you 0-1, dude? You might not get that pitch ever again the rest of the at bat.
No,
you don't take that chance. The longer you get into a bat, the less likely you're going to get the pitch you want to hit. Facts.
I love it. You're going, so Giants for Chad, still with his Giants. I'm going to take the Dodgers.
Come on, Orange Thursday. Orange Thursday. Orange Thursday.
I'm going to move on with the Braves. Obviously, I have them winning the whole thing. And in the AL side, you're going Houston.
Astros.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Boston Red Sox.
Going with the cheaters, man. I love it.
The cheaters.
The ash cheaters.
Yeah, we'll keep doing. I think we'll go live again next week. So stick with us. We'll maybe have somebody join us. We'll see. I'm trying to get it set up, and I probably could do it now, but I don't want to give my phone number out to everybody. But we're trying to take some phone calls and get some of the audience involved in some of these conversations. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. We're working on that. But
if anybody wants to pay for an extra phone line for us,
the new HIT.OR.DIE store will be open probably tomorrow. So we're going to put out some stuff today, some of what you can expect to see on there. So be looking for that. Go follow the podcast, HIT.OR.DIE podcast on Twitter and HIT.OR.DIE on Instagram. Also follow on Facebook and go subscribe on YouTube, please. We appreciate all the support. We thank you guys for the love. That is another episode of the HIT.OR.DIE podcast, Chad.
HIT.OR.DIE.